Imagine it's 5:30 in the morning. You just woke up in this yard because you couldn't find a nice place to sleep last night, so you had to settle for what was available. You just relieved yourself against this concrete wall and you're questioning all the decisions that you made that led you up to this point. Welcome to Truck Sim Diaries. In this video series, I record my Euro Truck Simulator 2 gameplay and I use it as a backdrop for my unscripted thoughts on what's going on in my life and the world around me. Sometimes I will have a lot to say, sometimes I will just comment on the gameplay, and sometimes I will just be quiet. Either way, I'm glad you're here, so let's take a look at how to get out of this yard and into the depot.
Okay, here we go. Make a U-turn.
Let's take a look at the map where we're going. We are going to pick up our cargo from here. The pickup is on the Istanbul food market. We are delivering plums from Turkey to Greece, going to Athens. Back to Vilko, actually. So it's familiar territory all around today. At first I wanted to export yogurt because I like yogurt. But then I looked into the import-export statistics of yogurt between Greece and Turkey, knowing that they're not the best of friends and both have their, their yogurt businesses going, and Greece does not import enough yogurt to even make it onto the statistics. I thought that was pretty cool. So they're like, they just fucking noped out on the import of Greek yogurt. Sorry, Turkish yogurt, because they have their own. So nationalism first. Gotta respect that.
Keep left.
It's not like Sweden would import meatballs from Denmark. Not that they're our enemy officially, but
Turn left.
yeah, and I woke up early today. I kind of like this new little tradition that we got where I get up a little earlier to get a little recording time in. And it's going to be a long one today. We are going over, I think we're going just over 1,000 kilometers. And it's one of my favorite drives. I've told you that before. So yeah, can you imagine, like, working like this? I sure can. I don't want to do it, but I sure can. Like, I would have loved to have tried to work as a truck driver when I was younger, before like family and obligations and stuff, and do these like long trips down to down in Europe. I live in Sweden, so the rest of Europe is south to me. And just try out the nomad life because I like it, and I'm not gonna say that I live a nomad life at work at all, but I do a little bit because I have everything I need in the car. I have coffee, I have the food that I'm gonna eat during the day. I have I don't have a regular break room, so it's whatever is available, and most of the times it's nothing. So I have my food shake in the car. And I've always enjoyed working like that. When I worked security, there was a lot of driving around and just see whatever see whatever comes of the day from the car, you know? So like drive around in Europe, that'd be really cool.
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
Just going from city to city.
Keep right, and then turn right.
But like, stopping to have to, you know, not knowing where your next shower is gonna be. It's like, it breaks everything for me. Like not knowing what bathroom you're at and have to use the, like,
caution. Please mind
gas station bathrooms for... I'm not saying that, well, you know, honestly though, the bathrooms that I work as an electrician, so the bathrooms that I have to use sometimes at work aren't always the best, but at least I have a good one when at the end of the day when I get home. So I started following this guy on Facebook, who posts a bit of his, you know, life doing exactly this, like with a refrigerated trailer driving around in Southern Europe, and like just seeing everything from a non-tourist perspective. That'd be so cool. But man, the sacrifices for something like that is just, yeah, it's just too much. Bet you'd feel pretty chained to the truck. But like seeing everything, the day-to-day behind the scenes, you know, workings of different cities around the world. I think it's interesting enough just to see the, you know, behind the scenes stuff of like my city, how everything works, like being early at a grocery shop, just looking at how the deliveries are handled, or the, you know, when I worked security, I got to see a lot of businesses opening and close. They're like opening and closing routines for the day. It's like, what does librarians do when they go for the day? That kind of stuff. I always found that very interesting. And just over the year, like seasons, seeing like, you know, what these places are like in the off seasons when it's not, you know, tourists. Gotta be super interesting.
right, and then exit right. Exit right. Turn right, and then turn right.
Well, at least it stopped raining. Alright, we're coming up on the food market here.
Turn right.
I got some fuel efficiency news. I'm gonna try a new gearbox. Since the last update, apparently they changed the gearboxes around, so it's just different gearboxes with different I don't know what it's called. Different something. And I tried this one out a bit yesterday, off camera, and I think it's a little better fuel efficiency. It hits the high gear, like what we use for cruising.
Turn right.
It hits that a little sooner. All right, we have the axles up. The beacons are off.
This is where it ends.
Yeah, this is where it ends. Right about that. It's a really fancy livery they have on their stuff here. Same place as last time. You can always, it's almost like they purposely placed that trailer in there to make it a little more difficult. It's no match for us, right? Want to do a blind side? Yeah, let's do a blind side. Alright, we are going to fit in just to the side of that trailer that we can see in the top mirror there. So if we put the wheels straight, you can just reverse and the trailer will turn. Mirrors are a little low resolution, so it's a little hard to see, but this looks about right. However, I don't know what's behind us really. Let's get out and look. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to crash into anything. We got some space to maneuver the truck because we need to turn the front wheels right, which means that the truck is going to, this gap between the bars and the truck is going to decrease. And we're pivoting, the pivot point, remember, is right in between the rear of the two back wheels. So we will reverse it a little bit more, kind of like that, and then we're gonna initiate the turn and see if we can straighten this whole thing out. And when we have straightened this whole thing out, it actually looks like we're gonna be a little bit off to the, well, left or right, depending on where you're standing. We'll see. I'll straighten it out and see what we get. Try to not hit the bars. Gotta try to not hit the truck behind us. Oh, that was close though. Way too close. Let's pull it up a little bit. Careful. smash it. Alright, so the trailer turned way too much by that little maneuver, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Well, at least you turn it around in the most complex way possible. It is not my day today. Sorry about the delay. There we go. Lots of room. Both directions. Alright, that's us. Let's load it up. Alright. Cargo's loaded. Let's go. Alright, so it's gonna take us 1,031 kilometers to get there. Just dropping the axis.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
here we are. We're gonna give this a couple of minutes before we start figuring anything out. If we can go around it, or if we're gonna have to do the little magic trick again. So I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about if for some reason, so we made this, he's also married to a successful woman. And we made this made up scenario what if your partner had to go work remotely, or could work remotely in any city in the world. And you got to, you know, tag along for a year. Just so 1 year in any city. Where would it be? And kind of went back and forth with Budapest would be a nice place because you gotta, like, you have a year. So you're not, you know, probably not gonna get a job. Like, you don't have to. And you probably won't be able to because you probably won't know the language, or like, and it's like in this hypothetical scenario you don't have to. So you just have to like hang out and be your wife's company when she, you know, comes home. So the days are going to be spent like taking walks and just living, you know, exploring this city that of your choosing. And like, what would you like? Which city would you take? And at the end of the conversation, I landed in that my city of choice would be Tokyo. Like, it is scary and I don't know the language, and I would probably get lost like every day, but what an adventure to live a year in Tokyo. Just spend your days exploring the city, you know, the touristy stuff first, I guess, and then kind of work your way down to like just pick a neighborhood on the map and just go there and see what it's like. That would be a fantastic year, I think. And like, not, you know, not understanding that I would probably get lost 360 of the 365 days, but, and like all the food and the food poisoning that you would get. That'd be really cool. I love, for the most part of my life, I've been ignoring like Japanese culture and aesthetics and everything that goes with it, because it wasn't for me really, and honestly I thought it was a little cringe maybe, but you know, I grow up too, and now I feel like I have to kind of, you know, catch up on Japanese culture stuff that I've missed. Like, their aesthetics is obviously, you know, and I've never been able to deny that the aesthetics on like the pop culture stuff that comes out of Japan is just beautiful. Art style's beautiful. Food, I've always loved Japanese food, is or at least sushi. So yeah, I think I would have a lot of fun in a year in Tokyo. So now I just have to get my wife to have something to do in Tokyo for a year, so I can come along and keep her company. We'll figure something out with the kids. I'm starting to lose faith in their ability to figure this traffic situation out.
Let's go.
And just like that, it's figured out.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Hopefully we'll be able to make it through this roundabout without any further crashes. Oh, we are getting... this is dangerous. Now I am the one causing the delay. So I just saw a sign for an aquarium.
Exit now.
Right there, and that's the thing we've I've gotten a tiny little fish interest. I want a aquarium at home. I'm not sure I'm gonna get one or not. It's not really up to me. But what we started doing when we're traveling, me and the wife and
Keep
kids,
right, and then exit
we
right.
visit those kind of aquariums, and it's really nice. I really like that kind of stuff. Just
Exit.
there's something peaceful about watching, you know, fish swim, and there's something, you know, mentally hard to grasp about the size of the ocean and whatever goes on down there. And most of the time it's great. This summer we were visiting one of those places that had like a bunch of crocodiles and different kinds of fish and sharks and stuff. It was really interesting. And my daughter got really hung up on this place where you could put your hands into the water and the fish would kind of come clean you or
Caution.
whatever.
Please
Eat the
watch
dead,
the
I
speed.
guess technically it's eat the dead skin and dirt off your hands, but that was nice.
Keep left, and then exit left.
Oh shit.
Exit left.
So that's kind of become a staple of wherever we're going, we make sure to visit their local aquarium.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit.
We're carrying 18 tons of plums and our total weight is 37. So we should be good. What I want now is also, I've been looking into kind of the fuel efficiency of the See if we can get it down. Why it's been fluctuating so much. Part is because of updates, which changed the dynamics of engines and I don't know, fuel, whatever stuff. But it's not, you know, it's not to an insane amount. But we have been lately. We have been driving on. As I was driving around a little off camera yesterday, I noticed that as soon as I hit like a highway, obviously our fuel efficiency is gonna get much way much better. So driving in Greece is obviously not the best thing for the fuel efficiency because they don't even have, the Greek couldn't make a straight road even if they tried. So if we drive on small roads and there's a lot of tolls, which we're basically doing for the most part in this little endeavor in Greece, our fuel efficiency is going to suffer. So I need to try to not be so hard on myself.
Keep left.
You can see our current shit, he's going right, I'm going left. Neither of us were doing very well. So you can see our fuel efficiency here. You see average AVG right above the V8 symbol to the left there. It's at 41 now. It's just dropping rapidly as we get onto this stretch of highway. So if we can just stay on the highway, we're gonna do great. And the gearbox jumps into 12, which is the top gear, which is the gear we want to be in for the most fuel efficiency. The engine operates the best and most fuel efficiency at around 1000 RPM. So that's kind of the sweet spot. However, you know, to get into that sweet spot, we need to find a road that's like long, 80 kilometers an hour, or in this case 90, without many stops, because the stops kill us. So we're already at 35 just by driving this 34, just by driving this little stretch of highway here. Now, give us a couple of toll booths and a winding road up a mountain, and you'll see that we're gonna tank our fuel efficiency. So I guess, like, if we take a job in, like, a contract in Germany, where it's just all like German engineering highways, everything is just grid pattern of autobahns, we're probably going to do a lot better. But that said, I'm going to try to think of a few things. Like, for instance, now we're rolling at 90 kilometers an hour. If I just disengage the cruise control and just roll up this hill, obviously I'm gonna save, you know, some fuel doing that. So not be in too much of a rush, and then just try to use the momentum of the truck a little bit more. I think I can, you know, I can help the worst of it a little bit. So I'm gonna get better at that, like, kind of eco driving. However, there's one weird aspect of it, how, you know, time and distance technically moves faster when you get outside of the city. So there are some little shenanigans going on, but I can't get into the, like, I can't get my head around it really, so I'm just gonna pretend that that doesn't exist. But here, far away, we see we got a toll booth, so I'm in no rush to, you know, spend a lot of fuel to get into some kind of speed, only to slow down. Of course, that's true for the game as much as real life. So I'm just gonna roll on through here. Just trying to use the momentum that we've got without, you know, crashing into anyone. And I can see from the, like, the GPS, it's going to be a pretty straight road, so what I want to do now is obviously gain as much speed as possible because we're in an incline, to see if we can just get off the gas pedal as soon as possible. Also, let it roll a little bit above the speed limit. Just look at that. We're at 25. We haven't been that low in all year. I'm not going to say that it's this little maneuver of mine now. It's probably the gearbox helps a lot, because we were at a weird fucking crazy high. But this is a lot better. But now we're heading into both traffic and a slow uphill, so going in 22.5. Let's see where we're at the top. So we're above the crests and we're at 26, so yeah, just climbing the hill lost us a lot. Yeah, so far we're in like this dream situation where we're at 26.27 liters per 100. Way better than we've ever been so far. So maybe me being a little bit smart with it and the new gearbox will sort it out. I don't think we're out of Turkey yet. We haven't passed the border, right? Traffic jam ate a lot of time. Maybe this will be the one where I actually pause it halfway through. I've been wanting to do that. So maybe this will be the one. I wouldn't call this a roundabout. I get what she means, but like, yeah, alright. Here we go. I think this should be the when we start seeing the big flags, that's when you know you're getting close to getting close to the border. The security is pretty tight on this border compared to, I guess it's for multiple reasons. Like I said, I know that Greece and Turkey aren't the best of friends. I don't know what I did to... But alright. Unauthorized border crossing? That sounds pretty serious, if you ask me. Alright, let's get outside and refuel it. Like, I wonder how hard this stuff is. Like, you know, normal day-to-day life, I can feel that there's a lot of bureaucracy that is kind of made, so it's almost set up to make you fail. I don't know if it's a Swedish thing or what it is. Maybe it's me, probably me. But like, just getting a passport and all that kind of, it's got to be so many things that like are easy to miss on something like this. Get fined for no good reason. Just day-to-day life, like parking. I've been lucky so many times where I'm like, so of course everything we use, you know, nowadays you just park with an app. You say whatever you want about that, but just last work day, I was like, parked the car and then I went to have a coffee with the whatever maintenance technician, and we sat there talking for a little bit, and then I was just, you know, it was time to act or whatever, and I was like, I got this, I was like, I need to, you know, I need to double check my parking, and I had everything was like, I set the, you know, the registration number of the vehicle and the location and the code of the parking lot and all that kind of stuff, and just hit start parking, and then I forgot to hit confirm. It is just so easy. It's either I forgot to hit confirm or I was too far down in the parking garage to not have cell service, so it didn't go through or whatever. But yeah, man, it is really easy to just miss something. So this little border crossing thing put us to 30 liters or 100. We're still good, but just goes to show how, like, what's that ghost car just disappeared? Just goes to show how easy it is to, you know, drive slow like this, stopping, starting. I'll just eat the fuel up. Let's see if we at least can get into Greece without breaking any laws. Alright, let's start with some questions. How do you feel at the moment? I am feeling good. I am rested. I have eaten. I'm gonna do August's social event today. It is man, we're almost in the middle of August already. Not really, but yeah, so August's social event is going to be today. I have an old friend visiting. And you know how you just kind of drift apart for no good reason? Well, it was exactly that. I really like him. But just for some reason, we just drifted apart. And me and my wife started talking about it, like, it would be nice to see him again, you know. And it was like, hello, you want to catch up? And he was like, yeah. No, it wasn't harder than that. I mean, I guess we've both had our reasons, probably. All internal, hopefully, at least on my end, but yeah, it's gonna be great to catch up with him. I really miss the guy. So we got that going, and I look forward to it a lot. Maybe I can even squeeze in 2 social events for August. All right, next question. Are you good at receiving a compliment? No, I am not. Absolutely not. Unfortunately, I will just brush it away to the person who gives me the compliment. I'm working on this. I'm working on, like it was a couple years ago, I gave a compliment to a guy that I work with, carpenter. He was really like, he was really efficient and helpful. So I was like, I'm gonna tell him that I appreciate him. So I said something along the lines of like, you know, thanks for the help. I think you're doing a great job, and you know, I really appreciate you making my job a lot easier. And he just said, he looked at me, he was like, he gave me a little nod and he said, thank you. And that was it. And I was like, oh, you're really sucking it up, aren't you? No, I'm kidding. But like, I thought it was so cool how he could just take the compliment, just absorb it, and also, you know, if for no other reason, just for my sake, like the person who gives the compliment, to make me feel comfortable, because there's a couple of things that you don't want when you give someone a compliment. One is the brushing off, which I do, because then, you know, giving someone a compliment is something nice. You're doing something nice for someone else when you give them a compliment, right? This is very basic stuff, of course, but I'm saying this out loud for me. So you're doing something nice for someone else, and when someone gives you something, in this case a compliment, you need to, you know, it's like when they give you a gift, to be like, oh, you shouldn't have, no, this is too much. Then you take away from their experience of giving something. A lot of people have their, like, are you familiar with the love language? A lot of people have that as their love language. Like they're expressing their, you know, they're expressing their emotions, they're expressing their gratitude. You know, it's a gift that you need to, for their sake, even if you don't, you know, even if you don't feel like you deserve it or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's more about them than it is about you at that point. Just accept it and be thankful for it, for their sake, because they were nice and gave you something. That's kind of how, you know, I need to think about this, because when someone gives me a compliment, I'm gonna be like, if someone gives me a compliment about my job, I'm gonna be like, it's just my job, you know? No, it's just every day. Don't mention it. Just like that. Just be like, no, this is nothing. No, this is just. And that's not the nicest thing I can do. Not to me, and not to, well, not to them, and then not to me either, because I need to absorb it and, like, you know, grow a little bit from it. That's what I saw with this guy who I gave a compliment. I could tell that he was like, I think he, like, it's, well, maybe I'm misremembering, but in my head he, like, you know, put his hands to his chest, like the compliment stays with him. And that's nice. I mean, that's good for everyone, for him and for me. Be like, thank you. So when he started doing that, I was like, oh, I want to do that too. So look at our fuel efficiencies. We're climbing 40 kilometers per hour. We're already up at 38.2. So yeah, I mean, there's no way to take this hill in a fuel efficient manner. We're just gonna have to suck it up, pay the fuel cost. So I'm not good at taking a compliment because I will brush it away, because also like there's my self-hate that won't allow me to just confirm that I am doing good. That won't allow me to grow from small compliments. Imagine if you absorb all the small compliments that you get. That would be like a decent, like at least a decent pile of. And if someone compliments, well, mostly it's the stuff that you do that you get compliments for. Rarely does that anyone, you know, compliment my looks, because that would be, you know, I'm a handsome guy, but that'd be inappropriate for the most part. But I guess, you know, so I started working on it when I saw that guy do it, and it feels awkward, but it doesn't feel wrong, you know? Let's see if we can make some of that feel up going downhill. Next question. What is one app that you actually pay for? Oh, and why? Well, recently I got two apps that are what's the word I'm looking for? The fact that I pay for them, you could sort the comments by controversial. One of them is WinRAR, and I think it's just so much fun to pay for WinRAR. It's a one-time buy. Like, I bought a WinRAR license, and it doesn't make any difference except the tiny little message that comes up. Why did I do that? Well, I mean, WinRAR has been around my entire life. I think it's the only app that's still, like, through all this time, you know?
Please mind the speed.
Through fucking ICQ and MIRC and fucking Internet Explorer, just
Push. Please watch the speed.
WinZip, everything, you know. Yeah, sure, we use Discord now, but give it a couple years. Trust me.
Push. Please mind the speed.
So yeah, I bought WinRAR, and I'm very proud of it. So now I am receiving the RAR Labs newsletter. And it's not a lot of news, but I just think it's so much, and it doesn't cost any. It wasn't like, there was a reason. I didn't buy it just only because I was using this. I was modding some game, I don't remember what it was, but it involved opening like an enormous amount of WinRAR files. And just because clicking, like, if I could remove to click away the like the message to you're using a free version, you know, whatever. Just by removing that message, I could obviously decrease my number of mouse clicks by the thousands. So I bought it. The second thing that I am buying for, it's technically not an app, I suppose, but I started paying, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, I know that's a lot of you are going to be disappointed. I am paying for YouTube. I got YouTube Premium. It is so fucking amazing. YouTube, I wish it was free. But I understand, like, the way things are. the way things are going. You know, capitalism needs what it needs, so we either revolt or we pay. And well, I guess I'm paying. So I started paying for YouTube Premium, and YouTube is such a it's such a good experience. It's what it's supposed to. It is what it was at one point when it was free, where you can just, you don't have to you don't have to watch ads. It just got to a point where, you know, it's just too much. It's just too many ads, you know. And I listen to a lot of podcasts or like podcast-ish videos with people just talking. I don't have to look at what they're doing. So yeah, WinRAR and YouTube. That's what I pay for. We're gonna take a break here. I'm running out of real life time. But thank you for taking the time with this. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. You go ahead and make smart decisions and take care of yourself. You are important. You need to last for a long time. Remember that. Bye.